that can share life ups and downs with you, that can help you through times of going through battles that you don't know what to do. Because those older friends, we're supposed to be a friend to the friendless. And the Bible tells us that in Psalms 119 and 63, it says, I am a companion to all them that fear God, and of them that keep his precepts. So when you connect yourself with godly people, they're able to help you to stay on track. They're able to help you to walk the line that you should walk. When I was coming up, there were so many older people that I could rely on that would really keep me walking the line, because if they saw me walking wrong or doing wrong, they would say something. They would get at me because they knew, and I knew, that they were a friend and that their actions they had the best, they had nothing but good intentions for my life. So therefore, choose a friend that loves you, a friend that wants to see you accomplish what it is that God has called you to, and a friend that will stick closer than a brother. Older people need to give the knowledge that they have, and we as younger people need to be accepting of it, because older people have all of this wisdom and knowledge that has been stored up for years. And if you get the right one in your life, they can help you overcome so many barriers. That's why instead of putting them in a nursing home, go and talk to them. Get some of that knowledge. Get some of that wisdom that they've just stored up for whosoever will want it and need it, because it's available. But remember, there's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS. Love somebody.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Roane, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday morning, Tickle Me Tuesday on Ask Your Neighbor. Open phones this morning if indeed you would like to share anything. If there's something on your mind you'd like to ask, this is your opportunity to do that. And you know how that goes. As the phones cool down or don't ring, we give you about 3 minutes between. And if we don't have a call, and get you guys on in 3 minutes, we go ahead and wrap the program up. With that said, though, we hang out and take your calls, listen to your questions, try and find your answers as long as you guys are calling. So I had told you guys last week that I was going to reach out to Director of Finance, Robbie Holbrook, and I did. And he had asked me to give him until last Friday to get me some information. He got it to me Monday, though. Now, I've got all the information about the taxes that were put on us back in 2011, I think. I'll have to find it. But anyway, it was a 2-cent tax increase to our property taxes that was set out to go for industrial land purchase, future purchases. Anyway, they've been collecting this money, and the way that it comes down, it looks like that they have collected $2,085,779 to buy industrial property with, but they've spent $1,991,745 of it on other stuff that has nothing to do with buying future land. And then now they've got it, they reduced it back, they reduced the 2 pennies going into the fund for land down to 0.5 pennies going into funds to buy property, and they moved the rest of it, 1.5, to their 171 General Capital Projects Fund. Buy and build stuff. So, I've got all the things they diverted it to and spent it on. So, there you go. They've collected $2 million and spent $1.9 million of it on stuff other than what they collected it for. I don't know. I guess it's legal, because they go through the votes and change it. I guess they're allowed to change what they use the money for, even though, you, the taxpayer, when they came to us and asked us for it or forced us to pay it, they don't ask us for nothing. They raise it and force it. It was under the flag of, we're going to buy some industrial property. There'll be industrial clients, which will bring jobs and goodwill to all. And again, I think I'm reading this right. Collected revenues of $2,085,779. Expenses of $1,991,745. And yet we have no industrial property. No new industrial property to show. I think, you guys tell me what you think. I mean, if you guys are okay, because your property taxes are getting ready to go up. I have talked to a number of people, especially down in my neck of the woods. The homes have been way overvalued. I've talked to 2 real estate agents and another property assessor from another county. And yeah, our property taxes blew everybody in the whole state of Tennessee out of the water. Yeah, the increase. But that said, I think that the assessor's office is going through and adjusting some of that. But they've got mine $400,000 more than any other house or any square footage or any real estate representative, Zillow or any of them have it valued at. Again, I'm glad it's valuable, and I'm glad I bought an appreciating asset. But let's be fair. Get it put back to where it's supposed to be, about $400,000 less than what they have it. So, I say that to say this: when that 2 cents that they put on us back in 2000 and what was the date? 11. Okay. Now that the property values have skyrocketed as they have, that 2 cents that's been on there, that's collected $2 million, is now going to be the equivalent of 4 cents, because the doubling of the property taxes, property values. That's what it will generate. The same. It will generate if they leave that 2 cents allocated, it will generate tomorrow at 2 times the value of property, double what it generates today. Again, I think they should give it back. That's just me. What do you think? Open phones, 865-457-1380, 877-711-4005. Yeah, it was July 2011. Got the minutes from the county commission meeting. Know who voted yes, no, and indifferent, who made the motions to raise the taxes. Got it all. 865-457-1380, 877-711-4005. I want to thank Finance Director Holbrook for getting me that. And I've got it if you guys would like. I can post it. Probably be doing a story on it here later to show you guys exactly where your money's going when they tell us, they tax us for things, and they tell us they're going to do these good things for us, then they just flat out lie and don't do it. And I don't know that, it just seems to me that there's, I guess the consequences for doing that would be at the ballot box, I would guess. Don't you? So hopefully they'll give us that. They'll take that $2 million. First, they'll take the 2 cents off the tax rate. That's the first thing they needed to do. Then they need to reduce the tax rate enough to give us back our $2,085,779 that they took from us. And then once they've got that, then they can stabilize out the rate. But yeah, they should stop taking that immediately. They should reduce the 2 cents off our tax rate after the state certifies it. Because and even if a piece of property jumped up today, again, they've collected $2,085,779 and spent $1,991,745. So even if the most perfect piece of industrial property came up today, they'd either have to dip into the general fund to buy it, or they'd have to raise your taxes again to buy it again. Both of which, we cost us money we pay into. So I just wanted to let you know, because I had told you that a week ago Friday that I was going to have that information, and it took the weekend, took till the Monday after to get it, but I do have it. I've got exactly how much they spent, where they spent it, on convenience centers or EMS training, Chromebooks. Not to say those things are bad. They're not bad, but we pay other taxes for that stuff. That's all built into our budget that we have. That's not supposed to be stealing money from the fund that you're taking from us to buy property. See, we understand the needs. Everybody understands we have needs, and we have to pay for them, but I don't know if we needed any new industrial property. Everybody would like to have some and like to have great areas like we have here in Clinton with I-75 and I-40 close where we can build industrial property. I get the idea. But it's just like they put it on there as a tax and then it just went away. And they started spending it. It didn't take long for them to start moving money around either. It didn't take long. It wasn't like they waited, 10 years and said, we just can't find anything, let's use it for something else. No, they began pretty quick. They began with less than 5 years, they started using it for other stuff. So it didn't take long for them to throw out the idea of buying any land and start using it for other stuff that they wanted to use it for. Which, again, if you guys think if that's okay and you're happy with your property taxes, you're happy with your new appraisal, and again, no, our property taxes won't double, but watch yours will go up. And you can just think about the $2 million that the county has right now to buy property that they've taken from you, that they've spent $1,991,475 on something other than it was taken for. And now they've moved to now they still take the 2 pennies from us, but they decided to take 1.5 of those pennies and put it into the general capital projects fund, which lets them do what they, capital projects. Had nothing to do with buying property. So we're not even funding it for property anymore. Well, 0.5 cent, but they've spent that on something else. By the time you look at the money raised, if it would have just been 0.5 cent, yeah, they've spent that too. So this is what I'm calling on county commission to do, and we'll see if they do it or if they don't. I don't know. Heck, I literally just turned down advertising from one of them because they were out there talking about how Nobody listens to the radio station. I said, okay, all right. You're going around telling people that? We just won't take your money. So we'll see if they listen to stuff like this, because I think it's pretty important. Don't you? I think it's pretty important that your elected officials tell you they're going to do one thing. They stand up there and they pound the podium telling you how much we need it, and that you need to suck it up and you need to pay it for the good of the county and everybody else. We're going to bring jobs. And then, it'd be one thing if they'd collected the money and it was all still there and they said, we just can't find anything. I wouldn't be happy, but at least I would know that they've put the fund together. But they've robbed it. They gigged us when they told us what they were going to do, knowing good and well that wasn't what they're going to do, because they just took a couple of years. They didn't have enough to buy any, and they started moving it to do other stuff. So they succumbed to spending it. They couldn't help it in just a couple of years after taxing us for it. And they're still taxing you for it today. This very second, you're paying it. So I'm calling on them to immediately, once the state certifies our tax rate, and they should have already done that. I was thinking, well, it might be the last of this month, 1st of June, but as soon as the state, and I've already got a message in that I want the state to also copy me on what they come up with the certified rate for. So once we get the state certified rate, I think that they need to deduct 2 pennies off that immediately. Then, if they want to raise it, if county commission then wants to raise your property taxes again after removing that, then they can do that and live with the consequences of it, I guess, because the county doesn't. We're in good fiscal shape right now. 865-457-1380. Ask your neighbor. Good morning.
All I can say is Mr. Allen better be looking for a job. He is toast.
Well, John didn't do this to the industrial taxes. He's not a county commissioner. He's a property assessor. Now, he was in charge. His office is in charge of reevaluating the property. But it's your county commissioners that raised your taxes 2 cents to buy industrial property, and they've been collecting it since 2011. They've not bought any property, and they've spent it on numbers of other things. So that particular that's not to bear on the shoulders of Mr. Alley. But we'll see. I'm just telling you the facts, truth. They can tell you. You can ask Jerry White, or you can ask Tim Isbell or Tracy Wandale why they voted for this, and then allowed it to be used for something else. You guys can reach out and ask Tyler, or ask any of these people that participate in taking this 2 cents that was taken from us by law through taxes to buy industrial property to better our community, and none of that's been done. And I was watching the finance director encouraging them to move it over. It's kind of like, we're not using it for what we're supposed to anyway. Let's just move it over. Yeah. No, it's not going to fly, guys, ladies and gentlemen. So with that said, I'll take a break and see if you guys have anything to ask. But I wanted to let you know. I mean, there's a lot of times I tell you I'm going to find something out, and it takes me a while, or I forget it. But especially when there's an official, county official involved that I've asked to do something, and I tell you guys I've asked, I always like to make sure I let you know when they, fulfill their obligation to give us the information we've asked for, when they're kind enough to take time out to do that. And I just want to thank Robbie for doing it, for sending it to us. 865-457-1380. That's just one of many things that we could talk about today that I think you guys would have fun with. But this is what I'm going to stick with, because I want you guys, and I want folks to know. We're going to post it that they began collecting 2 cents on the dollar to buy industrial property in 2011. Collected in excess of $2 million and spent every dime of it, very little left, on stuff other than industrial property. Your county commission owes that back to you. And let's see if anybody has the backbone to make that motion to do it, because I'd love to see who votes no on not giving back money that you lied to the public to get, or at least maybe you didn't lie at the time. But I'd say when you started moving it for other stuff, you figured it out. It was not any longer going to be used to buy industrial property. When they started moving it to get Chromebooks or giving it to EMS to I'm not saying that's not important, but, I have a feeling when they said, let's give some to the Glen Alpine Convenience Center, they knew at that point, we're not going to be buying any buildings. Or we're not going to be buying any land, so let's go ahead and use it over here. We can't find any land, so let's move it over to East Wolf Valley Road Convenience Center, give it to them. Or, pass it along to the city of Clinton for the dog park or an animal shelter. 70 grand for that. 857,000 of it went to EMS training. Yep. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm just saying I'm against it when you tell us you take it from us to buy property, industrial property, and then don't. And then everybody winks and nudges the good old boy, good old girl system. Let's just wink, nudge, and move it. Nobody will be the wiser. Yeah, we are. And that combined with over doubling, and incorrectly evaluating, now that I've researched it, a lot of these properties, the Properties Assessor Office, yes, they misvalued them. And again, you can check, do your own research on your own property. Go through. There are tons of guides online. You can go through and get the evaluations of where they're supposed to be. So, and the next thing I'll do is I'm going to ask for the protocol for the evaluations. What is the information, the formula that was used in valuing our property? I'd like to have that. And I'll get that either from the state or I'll get it from Mr. Alley, one of the two, so that we can see the formula that they used to do it, and we can apply that formula to everybody's house that would like us to check it for you. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor on WYSH.
Yes, sir. I've got probably a two-part question. Up here in Campbell County, they had an auction last week on unpaid property taxes. They auctioned places off, and they took in close to $1 million. Where does that money go? And 6 months later, could they prove where they spent the money?
Well, I'm not sure what the requirements are. I think obviously it goes to satisfy the tax liabilities, that whatever they owe on back taxes. But when the state or the county or whoever it is, the municipality, I think when they take it away to sell it for taxes, I'd say those profits stay within the municipality that did the auction. I don't know if they're regulated on how they can or can't use them. I have no idea how that goes. But I'd say it stays within the county. It does here. So.
Because,
that'd be a good question to ask, what they do with that money afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, could they prove it 6 months later what they done with the money?
Well, I'm sure there'd be a trail of what they did with it. And again, like I said, it's, I don't know what they're restricted on, if they're restricted on what they can use it for. I have no idea with state tax collections or city tax collections or whatever it is that they were, whatever they were auctioning off. But it might be a question for your clerk, your county clerk, or maybe your property assessor. Or I guess property assessor would be close to that, or your register of deeds could probably tell you where that money goes. Probably.
The property assessor is one that had the auction.
Yeah, well, then I'd ask him what they do with it, him or her. If you find out, let us know, because I'd be curious to know, too.
You never get a hold of him. There's always the secretary or somebody. He's always out of office. So.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, it's just sometimes I think some of these county, like the commissions and all that, they need to have an audit on them.
Well, I don't think that would hurt. I think some counties do that. I'd be happy for them to come in here and audit us, let us know exactly where all the money's going. But all right, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you, pal. 865-457-1380. If you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you. Call me.
Hi, this is Jim Miller with WYSH Local Information News. Remember, if you see news happen, email me, jim@wysshradio.com, or message us on the WYSH Facebook page. Each day, we bring you the latest in local news. Mike Witcher has your weather forecast, and Pete Michaels is in the sky with the traffic. So we've got you covered, and if you see news happen, let us know. Your source for local information news since 1960, WYSH.
They have worn our nation's cloth under the red, white, and blue and paid the ultimate sacrifice to ensure freedom.
Start your engine!
Once again, it is the Coca-Cola 600 right here in Charlotte.
William Byron, Christopher Bell, neither one wanting to give an inch. They'll dive into turn number 2.
We've got a new leader in the Coca-Cola 600.
It's NASCAR's most challenging event, the Coca-Cola 600. Sunday, May 25th at 5 o'clock Eastern on PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
H&H Body Shop is a lot more than just a body shop. Here's Darla, co-owner.
We do mechanical maintenance, and we sell tires, and we can do any mechanical thing on a car that a person might go to several different places to do. Because several years ago, we realized people was in a hurry to get their car out of the shop so they could go get their brakes done, and we have the capability of doing all those things. We have all the state-of-the-art equipment to do things. So we have computerized alignment, and we have a mechanic that has credentials to work on just about any car.
So whether your car is torn up or just needs a tune-up, you only need H&H Body Shop. H&H Body Shop on North Main Street in Clinton. Call 457-9734. 457-9734. H&H Body Shop. There since 1960. There when you need them.
Big news, East Tennessee. The former Showtime Ford is now Ray Varner Ford Used Cars, your trusted local source for quality pre-owned vehicles. We've got a great selection of inspected, reliable pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, offering top-notch maintenance and repairs. Visit us today at Ray Varner Ford Used Cars in Wartburg. Local, trusted, and ready to serve you. For the best deals, it's Ray Varner Ford Used Cars in Wartburg. Or shop us online at RayVarnerFordUsedCars.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy. And from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
86545. Who was on the phone? All right. Whoever was on the phone, I'm not sure why they told you we were done doing the program, but we're not. 865-457-1380, 877-711-4005. Anybody? Okay. I'm trying to give that person time to call back because nope. Okay. You guys have a great day, then. We'll see you back here. Now, if you're interested in Trading Time Prime Time, I would invite you to join us 6 o'clock tonight. Again, as long as the calls come in, as long as you guys need it, we'll do it. But when the calls stop or you guys no longer need it, we will save the money and pack her up. Call it a day. So we want to be here for you. anytime you need us. We don't want to wear out our welcome and stay if you don't. 865-457-1380. If you need anything from us today, have a great Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question,